Aces, welcome back to another episode of Only Sport. This week we're joined by the Clubhouse boys. They're back. Munster, Papenhuyzen and Hughes, fresh off the I Don't Quit camp. We get an update on Pappy's rig, how he's travelling. We get some funny things that Munster's done. One of them, when he had dinner with Shaq and asked him this one question, you'll find out what that was. And some unforgettable flops right here on Only Sport. We all love an impressive performance on the field. And now, thanks to our latest sponsor, Pilot, you can have an impressive performance in the bedroom too. Pilot provides Aussie men with the clinical tools to treat bedroom issues like erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation. Not a fan of the doctor's office? Pilot is all online, so you can sort it out right now over the phone. And with free delivery Australia-wide, you can be back on your game in no time. Head to pilot.com.au today and get started. Play hard until the final whistle with Pilot. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. It's been months. We ran out of stock, but we're back. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house. Righto, let's get into the show. Aces, welcome back to Only Sport. Another special guest. Our guests just get bigger and bigger here. We've got the Clubhouse boys in the building. Pappy, Money, Hughesy. Boys, welcome to Only Sport, and thank you for jumping in after a big day at work. What did you get up to today, boys?
Oh, I just flew in from Sydney, so made the trip. We actually had this booked for 5, but Munster's got daddy duties, so thought I'd change the flight, come in early, and that's me today.
That's a team player, isn't it? Things he does for the team, so I really appreciate that, Paps, mate.
That is, and you're a team player. I know you're doing some stuff at home. You're moving mountains for us. It's been hard to get all the boys on the same time slot. You got the preseason camp. That was a bit of a spanner in the works, but let's just talk about that quickly. How was that?
I think a lot of the boys were a bit rattled, especially myself. I think Hughesy was first one told us to run outside the door. It's because he hasn't done one before, so it was a little bit probably foreign for him. But for me, I struggled to sit down today. I still got blisters from doing too many sit-ups, so I'm struggling at the moment. So
well, there's a lot of oil going on in the legs. You've been working hard or just getting the recovery sessions in there, Money?
Just a bit of moisturiser, mate. Make the legs look a little bit toner than what they are.
That's good. Any funny stories from the camp? These camp stories there's always something.
Yeah, it's a funny one because it's like these camps usually go for 3 days, and we thought it was generally going to be a 3-day sort of army camp again. Long story short, only ended up being 1, but no one knew that while we were on it. So there were some funny stories. Poor old Hughesy. Yeah. He's claiming he's done his first one, so I'll let you run away.
Count, obviously. I'm not going to say it counts because I know everyone else is going to say, it doesn't count, but it's been a thing hanging over my head for ages. Like, I'm the guy that hasn't done the camp. Everyone else has done it in the whole club, whatever, and I'm the only one who hasn't done it. And Craig hates it, hates me for it. Even the IDQ people who run it, they know about me because Craig obviously tells them, and so they've been after me. And once they got a hold of me last weekend, they were into me. So I think Mun brings up one when we had this one where you had to do push-ups, and they got players to count them
who hadn't done the camp before. Right?
Yeah, who hadn't done the camp before. So I was up. I think it was like our 3rd round and maybe 4th. And I was doing the push-ups. I was 1, 2. I was going pretty good. And then I got around 20, and I was gone. And then I honestly I'd go down, like 21, go down, and then just start screaming because I couldn't get back up. Honestly, we were all talking about it like 2 days after, and it was funny then, but at the time I was like 21.
And to be fair, he's not doing himself justice. We've probably done 500-600 push-ups by this stage. So like, if you hadn't done it before, and because it was his first sort of camp doing it, they're onto you. They make you feel like you're a piece of shit. Yeah. So I felt sorry for him. He was our team leader in our group, and the boys would just look at him like this poor bloke, like doesn't know what he's in for. And like I said, we thought we were in for 3 days of it. So
I think Hughesy pretty much he'd done pretty good, surprisingly with his bad back. So he'd done pretty good. But it was one stage I looked over and he was doing knee push-ups at one stage.
I couldn't even hold push-up stance. I was gone, man.
How was your chest?
Yeah, it was gone. Like, the sit-ups are worse. Everyone's got these little grazes on their ass because we couldn't do the sit-ups properly. We're doing that many that we were just like throwing our full body into it, and we're just chafing on the ground. So
now that Hughesy's done the camp, but it was only
1/3
of 3 days, does it actually count in the eyes of the boy? Are they getting into you still?
I don't know. Like,
It's weird.
I wouldn't say so, but like it was still hard. Like, it's still,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Who knows? You might get away with that just doing that.
nah, I don't reckon. Well, I'd said something to the coach after. I think it was the day after. I was like, "Yeah, it's finally done." He goes, "Nah, he hasn't done it."
It was weird because all the boys had flights planned and that because obviously Thursday, that was our last day. And obviously Friday, Saturday, Sunday we had off. So we did the camp that Thursday afternoon. We're thinking, far out. Some of the boys have got flights and that like the next day. Like surely we're not going that long. But then we thought we might be actually going like for 2 or 3 days. The boys would be filthy about their flights and that. But we ended up doing the push-ups at the end, and Bellegg reckons to us, "Oh, mate, they're gone." And we all like standing there going, "Nah, fuck him." Like, stick strong.
Turn around,
He's
boys.
lying to us. He's bloody lying to us. And then he kept saying it, and we're like, "Nah." And eventually we all started to do a little peek around the side. I'm like, "Yeah," we started and we're like, "Oh, actually, maybe they might come back and get us."
Yeah. And then that night we slept at the school again. Everyone was like, "Bro, I bet you they're going to come back when we're sleeping."
Well, they
and
kept the
grab
buses
us."
out the front.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they kept the buses that we were supposed to go in at the front. but
mate.
like Mum was saying, like it was to set the scene. We walked into this meeting and it was meant to be for like positional groups. We had a dinner that night. We are going to see who was in our groups, where we were going for dinner. And
We had massage at the time.
we had massage, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, relax, just chilled out. Really good session in the morning.
Yeah, we had a good tough
Honestly,
session in
probably
the morning.
best session in the morning.
Yeah.
Craig was even like, that's the best session we've had this preseason. So everyone's like, oh yeah, how good's this? Good gym session. Going to the meeting, everyone's relaxing. Then you just hear a big knock at the door. Everyone's like, fuck, who's late? So all the boys like, oh, someone's late.
Yeah.
And then the IDQ staff walk in, everyone's like,
My heart has not sunk like that ever. I was just like, I was looking around going, please, that's a joke. Someone help me. Am I getting pulled out? Someone pull me out of this.
but then it was like straight from there. It was all right, you've got 20 minutes. Do not text your partners. Do not
Yeah.
text this. We'll look after it.
Yeah.
Some of the poor boys have just got misses. So their partners aren't in the group chat.
Yeah.
So they're stressing like, oh, what do I do? Like she's flying down in the morning. I'm not going to be here. And we're all like, oh,
They were
shit,
fully,
you know?
they were just like, nah, don't worry. We'll
sort
talk,
it
we'll
out.
sort it. And like, well, you won't have their number. You don't even know who they are. They go, nah, we know everyone. And everyone's just like, wow.
So that was probably a telltale sign. It was only going to be a day, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was tough, very tough. And if anyone's familiar with the Cryo Bay, is it?
Yeah.
Next to Geelong Grammar there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would leopard crawling through that swamp
And it was,
and it was stank.
Oh, so just give everyone a quick insight on what you did. Just like break it all down. So you were going through swamps, leopard. What do you call it then?
Yeah, so we've all got grazes on our knees at the moment. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can. Wow.
So essentially, after thousands of push-ups and sit-ups, we did these called leopard crawls, where you're laying flat on your stomach, and the only way you can move is using your elbows and your knees. So we did that on the grass, and we're having a race in our teams. So you do that, and that ends up cutting you up. And then after that, we went on this massive walk. I don't know how long it was, but it would have been a couple of hours easily. Then from there, they sort of said, all right, we thought we were going to go walk down towards the water, maybe go in the water and just like do a few things because that's what you've done before on the camps. And then we ended up going down in the mud. And they're like, all right, boys, getting your teams, get it in your stomach. We're leopard crawling through this. So leopard crawl through the mud. But the thing was, like, it was proper mud. But because you'd have people going through it so quickly, there was a rock bed underneath.
yeah. So you'd just be hitting the
So you'd be hitting the
gravel
rocks, and then it was just like, you'd come out and your whole body was just black, like from the mud.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, got cuts all over them. They're like, oh, do we get this cleaned? Or like, what do we do?
And
But
it stunk. It was like off seafood, off seafood chucked in like the garbage, and then just it was disgusting.
Weird, like it was really like muddy one spot. Like it was like a little ramp. Like so, like you literally like probably like neck deep of swamp, just trying to crawl, and then up the top was a little bit
dry,
like a little bit dry, and you could kind of get yourself going. But down there, then it was literally like a sandpit of mud, just trying to get yourself going.
Now that you've done it, how much would I have to pay you to do it again? Just to put a price on how painful it was.
At the start, I reckon you have to pay me probably 10 to 15.
If we didn't know, if we didn't know what was in it, like I feel like it'd be easier if we knew how long it was going for and what was coming up. But I reckon the hardest thing is like not knowing how long we were going for and not knowing what was coming up next. Like I thought we were going for a couple of days easy because they put us on these buses. They're like, wherever we go, just stay away, blah, 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 snakes and whatever. Don't go near snakes if you see any. Chuck us on this bus, packed us up to go, and then they said, nah, get off. Get back on, off. So we went on there like a couple of times, and then we thought we were going to go out because I think they got a farm out somewhere. where they usually
so
send everyone.
in the
but-
Dandenongs, I think. Yeah.
So I thought eventually we're going to be going on those buses, but we didn't end up going anywhere. So, I reckon it's the trick. They play some heavy mind games. With
Yeah,
the other
when
spots.
So what was your so like just to set the scene again, we're standing in our teams, the bus are in front of us, and the instructors come around and go, "All right, boys, how quickly do you think we can get on this bus?" And like you're just standing there like, "Fuck!" Like, did they ask you first? What it
Yeah, they
was?
asked me how fast do you think you can get on this plane?
And we had
on this bus with
we
all
had
this.
jerry cans, like ropes, bricks, everything. Like it was.
He wanted us to get in like I think 30 seconds.
Yeah,
maybe?
we ended up getting
And I
under
said-
30 seconds.
Yeah.
But the first guest was this bloke.
I said 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes.
And he just goes, he just waves it off and goes, "What do you reckon?" to someone else. 2.5 minutes. You said 2 minutes 45 or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
And it took us 30 seconds. So
It was pretty
that's our real.
That's great. Oh, well done, boys. Well, you're done. You've got past the. It's a big hurdle.
Yeah.
Once that one's done, now you can focus on the fun stuff, like playing golf on your days off. Speaking of sport, this is what it's all about. Only sport. Obviously, you boys have got your podcast, the Clubhouse. You've been on Tommy Talks. A little bit different. This one, only sport. Talk about growing up. We all know what sport you do, what you play now, and how good you are and the positions you play, but. Sport growing up. I'll start with you, Pappy. What sports were you playing, and how old were you, and who got you involved as a young kid?
I pretty much played every sport I could when I was a kid. I was quite lucky, and it's probably one of those things you look back on and you're very fortunate for my parents to let me play every sport I wanted to, and I never sort of got pushed into one. And I'm very grateful for that because you sort of pick up different skill sets from each one and get to decide. But I think Mum very early on wanted to push me into soccer, and I just sort of went and watched the game and didn't really get me into it. And then I think my older cousins played rugby league, so it was sort of like, I want to be like them, you know? And Dad played Masters rugby league and did all this stuff, and I think that's probably what got me into it and made me enjoy it. But yeah, I think once sort of money started getting involved and you sort of had to pick one, and I just went down the rugby league path, and then from there it was, pretty much a few rep sides and then signed with the Storm when I was 19, so...
How old were you when you made that decision?
I reckon I got my first contract when I was 16.
Yep.
Yeah, 16. So I was still in school. I'd play union on the Saturday and I played league on the Sunday. And it got to a stage where they're like, well, you've sort of got to pick one now. And the union pathway wasn't great. And I was like, well, I enjoy my league, so I'll just stick to that.
Yeah.
It was tough because you're first 15 at school, you feel like you're the man playing that. And then you sort of have to make this decision where you go, all right, I'm just going to play for the Balmain Tigers where no one's going to watch, but I'm actually can probably make a lifestyle out of it. So, that's probably about the age I got my first contract and went down that path.
Yeah, beautiful. What about you, Money? As a young kid, what sports were you playing? Who got you involved? How old were you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit like perhaps probably a little bit of everything other than probably AFL. I played union, Dutch, soccer, league.
You play basketball, you boys?
Played a little bit through school, but I was never great at it.
Yeah.
But I played a little bit, obviously, soccer, cricket, and a bit like with Paps, like obviously with money and that, I had to pay a little bit more for representative stuff like Capricornia or things like that. So I couldn't play all those sports. So once I turned 13, I had to make a decision on what sport I wanted to play. Obviously, Mum wanted me to play soccer due to the fact that it wasn't a contact sport, so I didn't have to. She wanted me to wear headgear and shoulder pads all the time. I was like, far out, I'm over this. Like I couldn't really see when I was a kid because the headgear was too big and that. So I couldn't really see. But I played, obviously, my mates played league. So that's the reason why I went down that avenue and just gave up cricket and soccer. But I was probably a lot better at those two sports.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Hughesy? Similar?
Yeah, I was the same. I was playing every sport I can when I was a bit younger, and my old man played heaps of sports as well. But the big one was probably rugby union, and I probably never thought I would go away from rugby union. Just being a kid growing up in New Zealand, that's all you wanted to do, and play for the All Blacks and all that stuff. So I tried my hand in all the sports when I was young, and then moved over to Aussie, the Gold Coast, when I was 13. So when I got over here, I was still a keen rugby player, but there was just no rugby where I was living, and ended up at a pretty good school at Palm Beach Currumbin, where they got a really good rugby league program, and a lot of good rugby league players that come from there. So ended up shifting there, and haven't really looked back since. I think I played rugby union once since I moved over here. So
There you go.
it's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. All very similar. Let's flip it up now. Let's say that you weren't good at rugby What do you reckon you'd be doing with your sales? I keep referring to Dion Prestia, but he was saying you'd be down at the fruit and wholesale market in Footscray with his old man Aussie. He goes, that's literally what I'd be doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but he's one of the most, one of the most elite midfielders in the competition. Just visualising him down at Footscray doing that. He goes, mate, that's what I'd be doing if I didn't get drafted and do what he's done. What about you? I'll start with you again, Pappy. What do you think you'd be doing if it wasn't for sport?
Yeah, it's a good question because often people ask that and I'm like, well, there's so many opportunities that have come from playing rugby league that that's changed my mindset now of what I want to do. So if rugby league wasn't in the picture at all, I'd say I'd be a teacher. Mum's a teacher. I sort of started a university course being a teacher, but yeah, since I've learned what I've learned and met the people that I've met, I'm like, yeah, it's probably not what I want to do anymore.
PE teacher?
PE teacher, I reckon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Primary or high school?
I reckon high school back at the old school.
Yeah.
Stomping ground.
Yeah.
There you go. That's very
probably
good. Happy the high school sport
Teacher.
PE teacher.
Yeah.
Now, Money,
Dress
I'm
like
interested for this one. What do you? I'd love to know what you would be doing. Think about it, right? You're 13, 14. You haven't made these squads. What route do you see yourself going down if it wasn't for
honestly,
sport?
I reckon I'd be working at Rebel Sport or Intersport, like a sports store. I reckon I was doing that as like an 18-year-old, just a part time while I was playing obviously Queensland Cup. But a lot of guys say if it wasn't for rugby league, I'd be a trolley boy too. So one of those avenues. As long as I get to pay each week, I'd be happy. So
That's great. When you were working at Rebel, have you got any funny stories? Like what kind of operation were you? Like when I go into the store and I want some shoes, are you the guy who goes, "G'day mate, can I help you out?" Was that what you're doing?
yeah, I was just saying, hey mate, how can I help you? Like, do you need any hand? He's like,
reckon
no,
it'd be
I'm
the-
fine. I'm like, okay, mate, but if you want to come down to the shoes section, mate, I'm a bit of a guru, and then I just get his foot out and obviously measure up if he likes to. It's a bit of stability, or he likes the neutral kind of shoe. I'm your man.
There you go. Pubic
How's
should
your
get you in there, man. You're all over it.
Stability,
That's great. There you go. So
Pronate in
Rebel.
or pronate out, whatever you want to do.
So we got PE teacher and then Rebel Sport.
Retail. This will go retail.
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 What about you, Hughesy?
I don't know.
You've answered
I think
this before.
I was about to say that. I think I've done this on the Clubhouse potty, but I think I'll be working at the council. On the council.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old man works
It's family
there.
business, I
Yeah,
remember this.
family. Cousins work on the council. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it now, just with my body banged up. But if I didn't play rugby league, my body would probably be a little bit better. So yeah, on the council somewhere.
Oh, I love it. Nah, it's always funny.
Stop sign, eh?
Yeah, stop song. That pays,
Lollipop, that would be good.
pays pretty well that these days, I
I
reckon.
think it's actually hard to get that job though.
Especially when you're getting your NBA multis on there, you could just be doing two things at once.
Everyone's just-
You'd be losing a fair bit. I
everyone's
reckon.
crashing.
Provided Halliburton plays full minutes, otherwise you'd be working for free there, mate.
3-degree burn and then trying to win a multi. Beauty.
That used to be my dream job. Like when I was like, when you're first a kid and it's like a firefighter or like police officer. Mine was to like be the lollipop guy. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
You knew they were going to pay well.
Yeah.
Too
Well,
smart.
they pay very well now.
You knew that.
Let's go back to sport and league. We all know that you've had a lot of team success, lads. I want to know an individual moment that's been very memorable that stands out front of mind. If I think to you about a moment that just you go, oh, that was really memorable, what would it be? I'll start with you, Pap, again.
Oh, I'd probably state the obvious, winning the premiership in 2020. I think that was one feeling that's like you just want to chase that again. So that's probably mine.
Was there a moment in that game, though? I want a moment.
We were up 26-0. So there was probably a moment there where I thought we had this wrapped up. And as soon as you start thinking like that, things start to go wrong. And they ended up coming back. It got to 26-20. We ended up playing with 11 players on the field. And yeah, it was the last 30 seconds was a massive scramble. But there was probably a period there where we're up 26-0 that I thought, oh, we've got this. But yeah, that quickly turned once they started coming back. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's great.
crazy
What a
feeling.
Great feeling, though. Money?
Yeah, I'm with probably Paps. I think just the whole year in general for me in 2020, like Origin and then obviously winning the comp with the boys. That was probably something very special just because COVID, all the boys were together, families were together. And then obviously we had a really good Origin series with no one really gave us a chance. We probably had the worst team on paper in Origin history for Queensland, and we proved those doubters wrong, which was a good year for myself. And not only that,
In that year, is there one passage of play or one moment in particular that you go, yeah, that was pretty special?
I think in the Origin game, last game, like it was fifth tackle, and Ches out of nowhere just decided to pass the ball on the inside to me on fifth tackle, and I defended Nathan, and then put a kick through, and then regathered, and we went from there. I think that was probably
Yeah.
best part of my game there.
That was a big moment.
And for myself, I think it happened all in those 1 minute or two. So
Yeah.
it was a good little passage of play for myself.
Big play.
Once.
That was a big play. I still remember that one. Hughesy, what about you, mate?
Yeah, it'd be hard to go past the premiership, but if I had to change it up, probably be my debut when I was 18, my NRL debut. That was pretty crazy, and just because it happened really quickly and sort of out of nowhere. And I just remember running out. It was up in Darwin actually. My mum, my wife now, she come up as well, so that was pretty special. And I remember running out and just thinking, like, how good's this? Like, I don't know, it's always been a dream to play professional sport, and that was pretty cool. So, yeah, that's probably my main.
No, it's good. They're all special moments and love asking them. I want to ask you a few more questions before we talk about sport and why you love it. But one of the things that we've asked most people that's been on Only Sport is their most challenging times and the things they've done to get out of it. Everyone goes through it, whether it's, life, business, sport, whatever. You boys have all gone through it. It's everyone here that follows the Clubhouse podcast knows you guys very well. But just talk to us about, some challenges that you've faced, but just what kind of things you've put in place to get out of them and tips you can give people listening. Pappy?
Yeah, I think mine probably been well documented the past couple of years, but without getting into too much detail, I think the thing that's helped me is just actually asking for help and seeking it from whether that's books or psychologists or people who've gone through something similar. I guess that's been a massive help for me. So, I guess one tip towards that would be, I guess, what's helped me during that period was telling myself that the story is going to be even greater if I do get out the other side and do achieve things in life. So, whenever you are doing it tough, if you're thinking that, it's always a good way to make the story. You're going to have to go through challenges. If you didn't have any challenges, it wouldn't be a good story. So.
Yeah, well said, mate. And speaking of you, how are you travelling? You're looking like bulky. I've seen all the photos on Instagram. You're looking. Is it career best? Would you say?
Yeah, it is career best. Everyone's asking what's the secret. I just think it's age, honestly. Like, I tried so hard to put on weight when I first got down here. I could eat whatever I could and just didn't put it on. But I think since I've taken that pressure off and I guess gotten a bit older, it's just naturally happened. But yeah, I guess I'm sort of reaping the rewards of all the hard work I put in now behind the scenes. And while it was a tough slog, it's just in these moments now where I'm back training going, it's definitely worth it. So yeah, physically feel really good. I think I hit 94% of my top speed. And my top speed was recorded in like 2018, so I would have been like 60 kilos. I don't know how relative it is.
It's probably 98%.
Yeah, so it might be the new 100%, but yeah, feeling really good. And yeah, I guess I can say finally.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
that's exciting, boys.
exciting.
The king's back. Oh, that's great, mate. And what are you weighing? Did you see the AFL has come out and got rid of all measurements? What did you think? What was your thoughts on that before we get into what you're weighing?
I didn't know.
So they're no longer going to disclose what people's body weight is because they think it's unacceptable. I just wanted to get your feedback
Was
on
there
it.
any backlash? Like, did anyone get like mocked for it? Like, what was?
I'm
what
not,
was so
I'm
bad
not really
about it?
sure. I did see Dane Swan put something up pretty funny, and he was proud to say that he was fat and he was better than everyone
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
It was very
That too,
funny actually.
yeah.
So he goes one for the fat guys. I don't know. I haven't spent too much time thinking about it, but I just thought I'd ask you boys what your thoughts were on it.
I think I like having the weights up there. I know when I was like a kid coming through that, like I got fascinated, but I was on the back of the footy cards, and it's like, oh, I'm 40 kilos less than this bloke, and I was like, okay, what do I actually have to get to play NRL? And I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. I'm not fussed if my weight's up on the page. Maybe that's because I'm quite light. Might ask some of the heavier boys like this bloke, or he lies about it anyway, so he probably gets away with it. But but no, I'm the heaviest I've been at the moment, which is about 83 kilos. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. So PB's everywhere. Pappy, you're set for a big season.
Yeah.
What about you, Money?
Front row. For me, I think obviously like with Paps with his obviously stuff that he's going through. Probably for me, would just be aware of your surroundings and understand just how you tick and understand your personality and surround yourself around the right people because there's obviously people in the community that hang around you for the wrong reasons and want to obviously take and obviously when you surround yourself around good people, you tend to be like them. So that's probably a bigger advice for myself. And yeah, just obviously you love to have a good time. I always love to have a good time, but now the way I've obviously got kids now, I probably need to show them how hard I've worked and they can't afford to give it up, Like I got to give them the opportunity to live a good life, and I can't afford to be, in easy terms, fucking up or doing stupid things off field. So just probably surrounding myself in situations or things that I know I can control.
Yeah, well said, mate. Great advice to yourself and people out there. Hughesy, challenging moments and a few tips on how you overcome them.
Yeah, I was pretty similar to Mun, I think. I remember just after my individual moment where, I enjoyed it a lot, that debut. I think it was a year later I got shafted from the team I played for, and that was pretty tough because I thought I did have the world at my feet and everything didn't go to plan, and I had to shift up north to Townsville and, get a real job and just play local footy. So, but a big one was just who I surrounded myself with and, the people that I had around me. And I had a real good support crew up there and obviously my family as well and my partner. And because I remember I got up there and I thought, I might just give this up and I might just head back to the Goldie and play local there and just work and, don't really give it a real shot. But, there was a coach up there and my family. I had some good friends as well around me and, they told me not to give up. And I think if I didn't have that kind of support, I probably would be, I don't think I'll be where I am at the moment. So I think a good point is just surround yourself with good people. And like Mun said, there's people out there that, you think might be good people, but they're only there for themselves. So I think you just got to be careful with it. But if you find the right people, you'll set yourself up really well.
Yeah, it's good advice. And and a lot of common themes with everyone's answers, which is great for people listening. We had a good question, lads, that I like a lot. When you're a young kid, when you're growing up, and you probably look back now and laugh, but we spoke about there was always one guy at your local club that you wanted to aspire to be, and you might not want to be like them anymore. I don't know. You might still want to be like them. But when you were growing up, was there someone that was just dominating your local club? And if there was, can you give them a shout out? Because I reckon they would love hearing themselves being shouted out by you boys. So, Pappy, growing up, who was the man of town that everyone where you grow up would go, yes, I agree?
I don't know if I'd have someone like that, but like my old boy coached the under-17s Division 2 side at Hills Bulls, and there was a kid called Ben Mooney, and I was a little kid when he was coaching their side. I just thought he was like this absolute superstar. He was like a halfback, and just had this like aura about him, and I just wanted his boots. He was just like this kid who's playing under-17s Division 2. Like, what am I even thinking? But like that's the impact that someone could have on you. And that's why I sort of always have time for people in that situation, because I was that kid once, and mate, he was a bit of a larrikin. Probably reminds me of Munster a little bit, but he sort of had an aura about him, and he was a good footy player, and he sort of caught my impression. And then sort of years on, looking back at it, it's like, oh, well, maybe he was a bit of a party rat bag, but like he was a good footy player, and that's what I saw him as. So yeah, shout out Ben Mooney.
There you go, Moons. Well done. That's great. Paps, love that. Love that. And a great fella as well.
Yeah, good fella. Always would kick the footy around after training and see similar traits to him. He does that with all the coaches' kids. They come around and he'll be the last one there with them. So
yeah, it's brilliant.
There you go.
Same wavelength.
Money, who's your Moons?
Moons. I got three.
This is great. They're going to love this.
I got a guy called Corey Oates who's playing now. Still playing for us. So that's a little bit of a thing. But I think the other two that come to mind, they both got contracts with the Broncos at 13. Luke Ganane and Jack Rice. And now Jack's now living in Townsville as a doctor. So he's probably better off now instead of probably running the rugby league. So he's probably earning a lot more than he could as a doctor now. But Luke's does CrossFit and that back home, I'm pretty sure, in Yeppoon, in Rocky. But those two kids growing up made all the rep sides. And they must have been pretty good if they got a contract with the Bronx at 13 years of age. So it was crazy to hear. And I remember just looking at him at 13 going, oh, wow, that was my favourite team too. I was like, I wish I was signed at 13. But now looking back at it, everyone grows and everyone matures and everyone has different things in life that they want to achieve, and they obviously do want to play rugby league after that. So thanks, boys. Hopefully you enjoy that.
There you go. That's great. A few shout-outs. What about you, Hughesy?
Yeah, mine was a guy called Sammy Harold, actually.
Oh, yes.
He's actually still a really good mate of mine. So when I first moved over to the Gold Coast for Palm Beach, and we had a pretty good team, but our first year 8s, we were just like every other team was just way bigger than us. Like they were massive and just way bigger. But we had Sam Harold, so like we would win just off the back of Sam Harold. Like we just give it. It was like one of those things where you give it to the biggest kid and he'd just run and score. But he wasn't the biggest, but he was just strong and fast. Yeah, he was just the best, and you just give it to him and he would score. And we actually won a comp off the back of him, so like a school comp, which was pretty cool. So he's definitely mine. He was a monster back then, and shout out Sammy Harold.
Oh, big shout out. Well done, boys. I love that. It's a great segment, and I know people back home would be just stoked hearing the you boys read their names out and tell them that you used to look up to them. Well, let's go to halftime, boys. Our pilot halftime segment. Without pilot, we wouldn't be here. For anyone out there that needs to go to the doctors, we were just saying, off air, when there's nothing worse growing up when you know you've got to go to the doctors, you've got to line up, you got to tell your parents something's wrong with you, then they've got to take time out of their day. Well, guess what? With Pilot, you get your phone out, boys, you call them up, and they can get it done confidentially with experts online. And if you're struggling in the bedroom, boys, and you can't play to the final whistle, head to pilot.com.au and they will sort you out. Righto, let's get into our unforgettable flops. Like I said, if you're struggling in the bedroom and you need some help, head to Pilot. Our unforgettable flops, recount a time on the field, one of your most embarrassing moments, your biggest flop, your Pilot flop. Boys, you would have had a few flops. No one's perfect in this world. I've had plenty. Now, think of a time where you flopped maybe on the field so we can cut some vision up here. Pappy, you're looking at me with a grin. I reckon we'll kick you off again. I'm liking this way we go. What's your Pilot flop, your unforgettable flop?
Unforgettable flop was probably 2020. It happened actually the year we won the premiership. I think it was the last round. We'd rested everyone in the team. I was the only bloke that was playing pretty much, like out of the full squad. So what comes with that is you get handed the captaincy. And I think I broke that record for the youngest captain at the Storm, one that Smithy hold forever. And I guess he'll never get that back because I got it now. But anyway, running out. I was real pumped. We had a real young squad, guys who debuted, heaps of debuts in the side. And it was just a flop game because we scored 4 tries in the first half and I didn't convert one of them. So
there you go.
It was one of those days where I probably could have blamed the win, but the bloke the other team kicked 5 from 5. So pretty grim day. I got hooked or I guess rested. I'll just believe it was rested with 20 minutes to go. And Dragons ended up winning that game and if I converted all those goals, we probably would have won. So that's my flop moment. Tough one to let go, but I guess you can bring it out in this segment.
Yeah, well, you're normally a dead-eyed dick, so it links into our unforgettable flop. Missing 4 from 4 as skipper and the youngest ever and then getting dragged, but maybe rested. We'll say rested.
Yeah.
There you go. Any feedback to yourself after that? Was it what was it like with the skill? Was it so there wasn't much breeze?
Yeah, no, I just didn't go the right way around it. I just didn't adapt to the conditions, and I think next year I ended up going kicking 80%. So someone kicked in me to improve it.
That's it, mate. So, you can't hit all your shots.
Yeah, couldn't do it that
Nah,
time.
that's great. We'll be able to marry that up. A few shanks, as I said, dead-eye dick now. Well, Money, let's talk about your embarrassing moment, your Pilot flop. What is it? You'd have like you're the superstars, you boys. So it's rare that we get some moments where you did have an embarrassing one.
I've had a fair few.
I know your one.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
Another one in mine too.
It was like I'm not even taking the piss. It was like a goal kick, and it was literally I'm not even taking. It's probably like that far past the left post. Like I'm not even that far. Like I'm talking there, and I've pulled it, and I've gone like that.
Nah, the thing is though, after he missed, I stood there. He was doing these like.
How did that?
I lined it up. I lined it up perfectly. What?
Oh man,
and he just stood
so
there.
bad.
The other players ran past him. He was still looking at the thing like.
I couldn't believe I did it. Honestly, I've never missed from that far. No, I don't think anyone has. But fuck, I have now. I looked at it going, get fucked. So yeah, I got heckled all day for that, and even in my inboxes, there's like. Man, every time there's like someone shanks a kick on, says like on the reel and says, tag someone that you think would miss this, I get tagged every time now. That's an ongoing joke, man. If I get tagged in one more, I'm going to follow you over. And I'll find you where you live.
There you go. That's great. Money's Pilot flop. Can't wait to see that one with some vision.
Oh, mate, so bad.
Oh, that is funny. It's hey, we're all human. It's great. What about you, Hughes? Have you had anything close to that?
Nah, well, I'm not a goal kicker. I haven't taken any goal kicks, thank God, because I would have a lot of flops if I I was a goal kicker, because I'm not much of a goal kicker. But I don't know. I think the headgear one, the first time I actually put a headgear on, and I didn't really think about it. I knew I had to wear one, but I didn't actually go out and source one. So I was just like, the club will have one. The club said they have one. And then once I got to game day, it was like this old, like 1800s headgear, and it was like worn out. And like no one had touched it or like done anything with it in age. It had like a bit of mold on the top as well, and it was just like I put it on. I didn't think much at the time, and then after the game, I remember like all my mates sending me these photos of me, and it just looked so rude. Like it was.
Yep. They used it on one of the footy cards too, didn't they?
Yeah. And then they put it on one of the TLA footy cards. And I'm just like, how do you pick that photo?
Oh, that's outstanding.
So that was, and then I think I wore it for a couple of games, and then shout out to Steven, and they sent me another one. So because it was, and then one of our other teammates, Dale Finucane, started wearing it. I don't know why. I think he wore it one game because he split his head, and then it's an ugly one. So if you get a photo of it,
there you go.
It's very embarrassing. I hate the photo. And it's on a footy card too. That doesn't
that's the embarrassing moment
help.
when they use that on your footy card.
Yeah.
That is a stitch up. You wonder who does
Yeah.
pick those photos.
Yeah, they hate me because all my footy cards are so bad. I just look terrible. Or maybe it's my fault.
Yeah,
Not very
that's good,
photogenic.
boys. We love it. The Unforgettable Flops, like I said, brought to you by Pilot. If you are struggling, head to pilot.com.au. Use our one-use code, which is ACES20. You get 20% off if you head online, and Pilot will look after you. They've got specialists, all confidential. And like I said, if it's premature ejaculation, boys, there's a lot of people that have it. Well, head to Pilot and they'll sort you out. You'll be able to play to the final
I'll be
whistle.
jumping on there soon.
That's right. That's exactly right there, money. Righto, let's storm home. Storm home, pun unintended. Now, sports away from league. We know that we're in an NFL fantasy group. We just spoke about NBA. I know Pappy loves his Orlando boys. They've been going pretty averagely lately, but they started
well.
unbelievably, but it's a long season. Let's talk about what other sports do you love the most? I'll start with you, Hughesy. We'll reverse the order now, and why. So maybe one sport you love the most outside of league, and why.
Yeah, I'm NFL and basketball are my two, I reckon, the two American sports, but probably more of a basketball man. Although this year NFL has taken a massive liking. I think it's all the fantasy bloody comps I'm in, but yeah, I'd go basketball. I think it's just so exciting, and I know there's a lot of complaints about no defense anymore for all the big scores, but that's what I love to see, all the long threes and the dunks and all the special attacking plays. So that's why I love it so much.
I love it. What about you, Money?
Yeah, I'm probably with Hughes. I probably was more NBA at the start, American basketball, but the more I've watched, obviously, fantasy with the NFL with us, the Clubhouse boys, and I'm loving NFL at the moment. Unfortunately, it's almost done, but my team's in the Super Bowl, which is exciting, the 49ers, McCaffrey. So jump on the back of him, guys, anytime. $1.29.
I think he's $1.50. I saw he's $1.50 for that.
$1.28.
After you get to him.
Yeah, after you attack him.
But no, NFL, I love it. So I'm hoping to jump in the fantasy next year, and hopefully jump in a couple, but I don't want to jump in too many because then I'll obviously going, I want this guy to go well and then this guy to go well.
Yeah, you can't have more than two or three leagues.
So yeah, that's something about me. I think NFL.
Love it. Pappy?
Yeah, I think you mentioned big Orlando Magic fan. So basketball's probably the one. And a low-key one, just at night, some good hours it's on, just the golf.
Yep.
Just put the golf on, nice and relaxing, get to just see how they go about it. That's probably
Few
my
boys have
two.
said that. They just find it therapeutic.
Yeah. The commentary is just sort of put you to sleep. Yeah.
On the phone, you can do kind of all different things as well.
Yeah, and I like watching, I probably don't, it's not so much the PGA because they're early morning, but like you got the DP World Tour, the Europeans, and they play like around that late night time. It's good to see some of their names come through and then them try to make the circuit as well.
Well said. What about the coolest athlete you boys have met? Who's someone that you've met in person, maybe shook their hand, got a photo with or spoken to? Who's the coolest athlete, Hughesy?
Yeah, I think the biggest would probably be Shaq, I reckon. Just on worldwide fame and everyone knows him and how dominant he was as a player and then just how big he was, like being able to like just see him in person and just be like, holy shit, this guy's
Anything, did he say
huge.
anything funny that you remember?
We actually had dinner with him. He said a few funny things. I'll probably let Mun, because Mun's boys with him. Yeah, sat next to him and asked him asked him all the hard questions.
Who was at dinner? Like, how big was this dinner?
It was pretty big.
30, 40 people.
Yeah.
That's unreal. And did he have a squad with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a bit of an entourage. But we were in a pretty good spot. Like we were like right next to him, like sitting across from him, and Mum was next to him. So yeah, he would have to be one of the biggest for sure.
He's so big. Like, I was just thinking, even him just sitting on an average chair, you'd be like, you'd want it to be a strong chair.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon he weighs?
Oh, it'd be
130,
heaps.
140?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
He was actually real polite too, because we were having dinner. His food come out first. Like, I don't know if they planned to do that or whatever. And he had this, I think it was big steak or whatever, and he wouldn't eat until we all got our food.
That's
He was blowing up though because he's like, I don't want to eat this cold, so hurry up. But he was like being respectful, like making sure everyone had their food on the table. But he was like kind of like eyeing them off, going like, this is not going cold. Like, hurry the fuck up. Like,
What do you have, a kilo tomahawk to yourself?
It was something massive.
Just like your normal 250 high fillet, and he's got the tomahawk there for the big fella. That's great. Big Shaq. What about you, Monies?
I'm just having a bit of a think, other than trying to think of someone other than Shaq. But I can't.
Stay on Shaq. What were the questions you were asking then?
Oh, pretty R-rated. I'll ask them. I'll say one. Just ask him if the shoe matched the socks, and he just looked at me and goes, "It's even bigger." And I was like, "Holy hecker!" I was right. I didn't know how to say that to him. I don't know what to say back to him. I was like, "Oh, yep, sweet."
Because look. Prove it.
Oh, mate. No, I have to say
Great.
Shaq,
Yeah, you weren't anticipating his response.
Nah, I was hoping he'd be like, I'll be humble about it, but he wasn't humble about
How
it.
many times do you reckon someone's asked him that one though?
it would've been.
He's ready. He would have been ready to go.
Loaded.
He had a loaded shotgun. He was waiting for it.
That's great. Anyone else outside of Shaq? You would have met a few big dogs.
Oh, like overseas stuff.
Yeah, just anyone.
You played around with Adam Scott, didn't
Oh,
you?
yeah, I did. Sorry, apologies. Yeah, I played around with Adam Scott.
Did ya?
Yeah.
How was
He,
that?
Yeah, it was really good actually. I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah,
Lucky
he
Paps
was.
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I was like, it was like about, I think like 250 meters or something over the water. I'm using my driver and he pulled out a 5-iron.
Oh
And
wow.
he's flushed it over like easy, and I'm going, "Fuck, man, I'm so nervous here." Oh mate, I had maybe one of the two good shots. I reckon over 5 holes with him, because I played 5 holes and then he went over to another group and that. But mate, he was just making me so nervous, man. And I
Was he-
just like, oh.
Did he give you some tips?
He gave me some tips, but I'm left-handed. He's right-handed, so. But let's be honest, he was using blades. I was using forgiving clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm still struggling. So yeah, no, it was he was actually a good friend of someone that I knew. And he goes to Sunny Coast every now and then and still catches up with him. So yeah, I can't believe I forgot about Adam Scott.
Oh, that's
He gave me a hat signed, so yeah, it's in my room. So yeah, wow. Thanks for that, Paps.
that's
yeah.
big.
That's all good.
That's great. So you got Shaq, Adam Scott, Paps.
Mine's probably a different angle. I've met a few big athletes, but I reckon one that probably fits the whole podcast scene is when I was in America the last time, I went to a Nets game and actually met Stephen Bartlett, the Diary of a CEO host. So
Yeah.
he was
Big.
probably one of the ones that I was like, fuck, like, you know, I don't get starstruck too often, but he was, he was really polite and sort of fanboyed around him. And he gave me the time of day to speak to me and talk about the podcast. And yeah, he's probably my one. I
What was his advice?
No, he was just so humble that I'd listen to it, and he just like, oh, like an Australian fan, that's pretty cool. And he was just telling me about his schedule. He was in New York because he had to do a few shows he was recording, and then he'd head back to London for a day and come back. And I was
Really?
like, yeah, it was all quite hectic. But yeah, honestly, it was one of those ones where like I felt like I had to stop the conversation because like he was so deep into
Oh, that's great.
So that was cool to see, and obviously listened to that a fair bit as well. So yeah, that's my one.
Yeah, he's had some. He does it really well. He's got a massive team, doesn't he? Was his team there?
It was just him and his partner. So
Yeah.
I think his whole team, they had like courtside seats and everything, but
That's mad.
I just caught him and his partner there, and yeah, they were keen to chat. So
Really, mate, if he's like, oh yeah, come down and sit with us.
Yeah.
yeah, we got a podcast, the Clubhouse.
Watch this.
Get him
Hey,
on.
people watch you at 500.
Oh, very good. Now let's link it to the celebrities, I guess. But if you could be anyone for a week, so you can jump in their body and be them for a week, who would you be and why? We've had some, I guess to give why you're thinking here because I'll put you on the spot, but we've had people say blokes like Austin Reeves, for example, because he's with LeBron all the time and he also doesn't have to, if he wants to do stuff LeBron does, he can hang out with him, but then he can also chill a little bit because he's not going to get harassed. But then there's other people that do the opposite. Like, no, I want to be the man. I want to be LeBron or I want to be someone. So So, Hughesy, if you could be someone just for a week, you only got a week, you're going to jump in their body and then jump straight out. Who would you love to be and why?
Oh, it would have to be, I guess, a basketball player. I'd probably go like, that's a good point though, Austin Reeves. That'll be pretty good. Because I know he plays a lot of golf too, so that'd be pretty awesome. But I'll just probably be like a Jason Tatum or something, I reckon.
Yeah.
Just
Family man.
being that guy. Yeah, got a kid. Big family man. You know, the best player in Boston. I know, like a massive team with a lot of history as well. So, yeah, I think I'd be him for a week, a couple games in, and then get out of there, I guess.
4 threes a game,
Yeah.
no dramas. Don't lose at home. Hopefully a home schedule
Home
for
schedule,
a week.
yeah. 3 home games.
There you go.
3 home games.
Love it. Money,
All-Star weekend.
anyone in the world for a week thinking deeply.
I am, because I don't want to screw this up.
Thinking really deeply after forgetting Scotty playing 5
Yeah.
holes at the King.
Shivs. I'm going to go.
What sport are you going to go? Just
I'm
what
going to NFL.
Okay. Still thinking receiver, quarterback.
I'm going to go.
He's going to in the Super Bowl. For
He's still.
sure.
He's
I'm going to go McCaffrey.
He's going to go McCaffrey.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
he's got it all going for him, McCaffrey, hasn't he? He's on and off the field. He's just ticking boxes.
I was more hesitant about him, or maybe even St. Brown. I don't mind St. Brown.
Amon Ra.
Yeah, I think he's pretty sexy too.
Yeah, C-Mac would be cool. He's a machine.
C-Mac's a man, eh?
Especially, and I'd imagine you'd want to be him.
Actually,
in
no,
Super
you know
Bowl.
what? I'll take it all back. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
And what week would you like to be him?
Regular season.
Regular season, dominating and doing his little move.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime try scoring.
Oh, he does. He actually, anytime, Taddy, you'd probably get $1.23 next year. Yeah, he is a superstar. There you go. So not C-Mac, CD Lamb from Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver, and heading into his 4th year, I think, next year. So he'll be dominating.
The reason why I thought about it that last minute is because I remember talking to Shaq and I said, "What do you love about America?" And he goes, "What's one place you'd go to and love to live?" And he goes, "Dallas."
Dallas.
Yeah.
He always says Dallas. So I thought I just wandered back a little bit. I'm like, CeeDee Lamb.
Smart.
Okay.
Strategic.
Pappy, you've had the most time to think about this answer, so I'm interested to see who you are going to be for a week.
Yeah, probably come to me after Hughesy spoke, I reckon. I think I'd be Cameron Smith on the Live Tour.
Nice.
Live in Jacksonville. He's just fishing all the time, playing golf. Feel like he wouldn't get noticed too much, you know. And if he did, he'd just tie the mullet up and you just wander off and do your own thing, you know. Just have a bit of freedom. Yeah, that'd be my one. I reckon.
That's great. What tour? Like if you lived, obviously they're going to SA in Australia soon, or was there another one?
No, I'd go Live Tour. I think you just got that secured
Yeah.
amount of cash coming in and you can just play golf carefree. And
What country though? Because you know
which
you
one?
can only be a week. You can only be in for a
a week. Okay. I'll play in. Yeah, I'll play back in Adelaide just so I can see the fam.
Get the home crowd advantage.
Home crowd, yeah.
They look like they
Party
have a bit of
hole.
fun too, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And
That's
just
me.
strike the ball like
Just pure.
Just
you just
win
have
it.
the round, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a team event too, you know? So it's like sort of golf's very individual, but I feel like that live team aspect.
Yeah, there you go. That's
be
great,
pretty sick.
boys. We've got good answers there. So we've got Tatum, we've got C-Mac ditched, Amon Ra ditched, then we've got CD Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys off the back of some great advice from Shaq, who does have a bigger sock than shoes or whatever you said. And then we're going to go with Smitty on the golf course for Pap. Very good, boys. All right, a few more to bring us home. Who is the GOAT? This has been a great conversation. You've only got one GOAT. Who is the GOAT in your opinion, Hughesy?
Anyone.
You can only pick one, the greatest of all time.
Of every sport.
Nah, just there's
Just
one.
the one.
Just
Just one GOAT.
You can only pick one GOAT.
Cheapers.
Maybe someone go first once they've got the answer.
Yeah.
Griffin Logue went Bones Jones, caused a bit of a ruckus.
Jones.
A few people have said
UFC.
Jordan, Brady. One said Novak Djokovic. I'm trying to
It's
think
got to
who
be
else.
like a definitive goat.
Yeah, you just got to go bang. You know, if you like soccer, there's a couple answers there. But, you know, in your eyes,
Yeah.
they don't need to explain why.
Yeah.
People listening, ask yourself the same question while the boys are thinking. But the GOAT is Hughesy. Go. You've had enough time.
Right.
Shoot now. Aim later.
I'm gonna go.
You go,
I'm
bro.
gonna go Tiger Woods.
Bang.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been said before. I think.
Okay, well, I'll go someone else.
No, that's good. No, that's good. We're gonna get all your answers and put them together. We're gonna get a leaderboard. So Tiger Woods for money. Pat,
I don't know if it's like a little bit biased.
you can't sit on the fence. You just got to go bang,
Cameron Smith, NRL.
bang.
I was
Love it.
thinking
That's our
that
first
too,
one.
yeah.
NRL. Everyone's been going American sports. Boom. Cam Smith, great.
I'm just gonna go boring. Jordan.
Yep.
Michael Jordan.
There we go. Jordan. Who'd you say again? Tiger Woods.
I've got Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith.
Two different sports. You know.
Loves the Smithies.
Both
out of the
Cameron
box.
Smith.
Yeah.
Loves the Cameron Smith.
Loves to see Smith. There you go. Righto, lunch with three. Who you cutting? You got Roger Federer, Michael Jordan, and Tom Brady.
Oh, Jesus.
You got to
Christ.
cut one. Hughesy, who you cut? So, Puppy, you go first. Who you cutting?
I'm cutting Brady
Oh.
Why?
because he's been here.
Yeah.
I think the other two just,
Yeah.
wouldn't feel as exclusive if Brady was there anymore.
Yeah,
That's
he's,
my feeling,
so you've kind of heard enough of Brady.
Yeah, I
Don't.
reckon.
Yeah.
That was easy for me.
Yeah, well said. Money?
Oh, I'm going to go Roger.
Roger's gone.
Roger's gone.
Why?
Because I didn't hear Brady talk. Or I didn't know he was
Oh,
here.
you didn't get to. Oh, you didn't get to the
I got
event.
invited, but I forgot about it. I don't know how you can forget about it, but I did.
Oh, mate, you're a family man now.
But yeah, no, I have to say Roger. Unfortunately,
Roger's out.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mike stays, definitely.
You have to after.
You put him in the game. Imagine if you cut him.
Oh, if you cut
But when I explain, so, and then I'm going to keep Federer as well, I reckon. Because I watch a lot of sort of sport documentaries and all that, and I feel like I know there's a lot of stuff that Brady has said that probably he would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is the same as Jordan, but he's got more to him. So, and I haven't watched much on Roger Federer, and I reckon he'll have some good stuff. So,
Yeah. There
get rid of Brady, yeah.
There you go,
Nice.
boys. Very good. Well, great stuff. We obviously got to make sure you are looking good. The Melbourne summer, I don't even know if it's arrived yet, but I think it's going to be 39 this Sunday. So I've made sure that the team from RIXX have sorted you out. So if anyone wants a pair of sunnies, go to rixxeyewear.com.au and use our discount code ACES if you want to look like the boys right now. Pappy, I know you wanted another style. We're out of stock in Melbourne, so I'll get that shipped down. So I got you the Soho Black, mate. So chuck them on.
They're nice, though.
That's you. You had the Soho Cherries last time. I think Money had them at the races. I got you the Hughesy. I got you the Morris Champagne.
Morris Champers.
Yeah, so the Champagne Morris.
Markeith Morris.
It's a,
Markeith.
and then Money, you've got the Melrose
Greens.
Melrose Brown.
Melrose Drive.
Melrose
Monies.
Brown. The green were, again, out of stock in Melbourne, but we'll sort you out
All
afterwards.
right,
you
mate.
know?
I'll take them. Grateful.
So, boys, Rick's on tour. We've done that before, but if you could go anywhere for a week in Australia, I want to keep it in Australia because we always go big, but I feel like you guys have travelled a fair bit and you take your RIXX Eyewear with you and you three are going to go play golf somewhere. What course in Australia would you go? And then, where would you be with your RIXX Eyewear on? You've got a weekend away, just you three lads. Pappy, where do you think the boys should go?
I'm taking us straight back up to Port Douglas.
Nice.
Just really nice part of the world. Some nice golf courses there as well, and stop off at the Great Barrier Reef. That's my.
And where do you have a couple, out in the sun, couple of drinks, Rixie's on, where's the 19th?
Oh, 19th would be. You got plenty of hotels to choose from up there. So I think where did I stay last time? Something Temple, but it was it's like the pool resort goes through the pool goes through the resort, and there's a bar in the middle.
Perfect.
That's the one. I forgot what it's called, but yeah,
Beautiful. Port Douglas. Money?
Pappy stole mine.
Aussie, that's all right. You can go to the same place.
No. We'll go somewhere different. I got Airlie Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got Airlie just because of the vibe. I've been there for the first time this year with camp, and it was very nice there. And they had some obviously good outlets, good pubs, and also good nightlife. But then also they had some good golf courses as well. So
Yeah,
you can just jump on a ferry to Hamilton Island as well. So I think
I was
that's
going to say Hamilton Island because that golf course there is pretty grouse. It's hard. It's one of the hardest I've ever played at, but it's a good golf course.
And who's winning this game of golf if you three play? Just How's all everyone's golf game
This
going?
bloke had even the other day.
Yeah.
So
Really?
that's a story to tell.
Yeah.
Tell us the story.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
on.
happy about it.
That's it.
What do you mean you're not happy with it? Because now my handicap's down to 8 from 12, and it's -2. So even regardless of what I hit now, I can't. It won't change for 12 months.
Oh, so you can't win.
He's hard capped. He's not even soft capped. He's hard capped.
I'm hard capped.
So you've stitched yourself up.
Oh, not
But
stitched.
it's pretty
I'll
good.
take an even.
It's a win.
par,
It's a massive
but
win.
I can't play for money anymore. Otherwise, my missus would be leaving me and taking me for everything as well as the boys playing golf.
So Welsh should be knocking on the door,
Oh,
surely.
he's trying to. He hit me up today to play. I was like, nah, I'm not playing that.
Oh, very good. Well, lads, thanks so much for your time. A little bit different, only sport, talking about growing up and then obviously sports you like outside of your own. Wishing you all the best. We've got some big news coming as well. We'll keep it hush-hush at the moment, but everyone that knows the Clubhouse, make sure you get excited because there's something big around the corner. We're wishing you all the best. Great to see you back in great shape, Pap. Career best in pics and in real life, which we love. And Hughesy ticking off the camp that you've finally done, which is only one day.
retire now.
So you can retire. I mean, you've
finally retire.
If you can time it beautifully, you've done it exactly how you would have wanted, I reckon. And then money, handicap, scratch, golfer. That's just outrageous. Thank you to Pilot once again. If you need some help, you want to play to the final whistle in the bedroom, head to pilot.com.au and look after yourself. We've got our discount code there. One-time use ACES20. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share this one if you love it. Plenty more around the corner. Thank you. One more time because I really mean it. I just want to say a massive thank you for all the support you continue to give us at the Ausmerican Aces. If you want to further support us, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the follow button so you can keep up to date with all our exciting shows and announcements. Righto, now it's time to give our sponsors a massive plug. Struggling to make it to third base before striking out? Wood not driving like it used to? Let me guess, tackle's gone a little bit soft? No stress. If you're having issues in the bedroom, like erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, Australia's favourite men's healthcare provider, Pilot, has all the clinical tools you need to get your game back on track. Thousands of Aussie men come to Pilot to get simple, discreet and clinical treatments online. Pilot has free shipping, auto refills, and free follow-ups over text with practitioners. Get started today at pilot.com.au and remember, play hard until the final whistle with Pilot. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. It's been months. We ran out of stock, but we're back. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.